while some outdoor projects are being delayed by some rain, we have plenty indoors to keep us occupied. I got a couple of packages here I'm gonna open up and possibly have to assemble. No, one of them definitely has to be assembled. This one might already be assembled. So I'm surprised that I haven't gotten one of these in, I'd say, close to 2 decades that I've owned chickens. So this is you can't read that, but it's a Duncan Family Farms floor feeder. It holds 55 pounds or something like that. It should hold a whole bag. Yeah, we've never really taken vacation that required us to make sure all the chickens were fed, like that they would run out of food. Usually the feeders we leave is plenty, but we do have more chickens now, and we do plan on doing more extended trips now that the kids are old enough to appreciate it. So it's time. Plus, just in general, not having to go out there, especially in the wintertime, lugging water along with food. I don't know why I haven't done this sooner. Looks like some assembly required. Okay, never mind. Oh, let me do this. So I did get this off of Amazon, but you can get it directly from the seller. So certain niche things like this is pretty much coming from the seller to Amazon as well. And I happen to have Prime, so we save on the shipping per se. I mean, you're paying the service for Prime, so that covers the shipping. So if you order this directly, you will be charged the shipping. So it's the same price either way, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, it is disassembled, so I do have to put it. It is disassembled, so I do have to put something together. So this top part is the roof. There's the diagram. What is it? I need some screwdriving mechanism. Figure out how that comes out. So there's different, ways to do this. But this one is what's gonna fit in my chicken coop. It's designed best. All right, let me go get a screwdriver. Not the best set of instructions, I'd have to say. I mean, I usually go off drawings pretty well, but this isn't good enough. Unless I'm doing it backwards. Maybe I'm doing it. No, that should be the inside. No, that's the inside. Aw, it's bent. Dang it. Crackers. Okay, looks like it's easy enough to fix. Maybe, hopefully. Alright, you're supposed to leave one on top so you can get the roof on later. Jeez. I mean, most things, for me mostly, take a minute before I can figure it out the first time. And then after that, it's usually smooth sailing. And we won't tighten it till the end because it might need to be moved around a bit, and it's left itself some wiggle room for that. All right. Next, upper portion to base assembly. Okay. Base. I was having an issue there for a second. I'm like, why isn't this going all the way in? This is a shoulder bolt, so this goes for the roof, not the body. All right, this part is attached. Next, we have lid to upper portion using the 2 shoulder bolts. All right, let's see. Oh, did I do that backwards? No. Yes. So the instruction said leave one top hole open on each side opposite of each other. So I thought they meant diagonally. They meant opposite each other. So take one out. Here. Now we use the shoulder bolts. I guess this is like a hinge for the roof, where the feed is going to be dumped in. Looks like the sun's out, so after this I can go back to my outdoor project. Wait, I think I need the roof. The hell. Let's get the roof on there first, shall we? And it's a little tricky with this Band-Aid, making things slippery. Oh. All right, that works. Okay. And last is the grill to base using 2 pan head screws on each side. And I have 5 screws left because they like to give you extra, which is great. Yep. So this is metal, so there are some rough edges. I haven't needed the gloves, but I have them just in case. One side. All right, now tighten. So there's leeway. There's wiggle room. So here, see. So there's this gap here. Can you see that? No, I'm doing this right. I'm gonna flip. There we go. So you can adjust the whole thing so that it's more tight before tightening all the screws. All right, let's tie this. My little hands can make it, which is sufficient. There it is. Hingy top, feeder in the bottom. So nothing special. I can just put this in the middle of the coop, away from the roosts as much as possible, and they can eat at their leisure. So as I'm closing this, see that? The gap right there? Well, I think that has to do with this. Now, I don't know if this is intentional or it's supposed to, be flush. So there isn't as much of a space. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like, not really. It's bothering me, yes. It's bothering me a little bit, or I wouldn't have shown it to you. Yeah. Because if I want to bend it more, I'm going to have to bend other things to get it more tight there. Okay, I'll do that. Yep, I did it. I squished it. So now it closes all flush-like. As flush as I can get anyway. So I had to bend this in and then yank it down a bit. And it's pliable like that. Not too much damage caused. Now it closes more flush. Very good, very good. On to the next box. This one. Now this one is part of the outdoor projects. Well, they're all outdoor projects. But this one is not as time sensitive as the other one was, but I do still want to look at it. Because it's important to open your packages in case something's wrong. And you're limited on time to do something about it. Oh boy. I mean, I'm used to this, but that's broken. Oh boy. It's like a billion pieces. This is plastic. Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of extra. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, there it is. I thought there was missing some. Three, 4, 5, 6, and 8. I think that's sufficient. And they give you gloves. And a pretty hefty manual. This is, I don't know, how does this pronounce that? Anyway, it's a garden bed. It's a small, it's an 8x2 by 1 that I'm going to use over by where I'm going to be putting the blueberries. And it's just one of the Amazon for like 50 bucks. I don't even remember, because I didn't want to spend 100 bucks on my favorite birdies beds. Yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of this garbage first. So it's, you know, pretty standard. Maybe, I didn't know if it was any flimsier than the birdies. I guess the rust, whether it rusts, how quickly it rusts, is the true tell if it's any good or not. I've had a couple of my birdies for a couple of years, and they're doing pretty well. I think everybody's gripe are these plastic, the metals are shrink wrapped in. Seems excessive. Like I feel like a piece of paper would suffice in protecting the paint from damage. Alright, I have a whole bunch of these panels to go through, so I'll get back to you. I believe this is the most consuming aspect of these beds. And these panels are only a foot long. And there were 12 of these side panels and 6 of the corner panels. So I've been doing this for a lot longer than I'd like. The thing with birdies, and I believe the other brands also, they are larger panels. So that's part of why they ship, I mean not ship, but they cost more, because it does cost more to ship them because they're bigger. And luckily the plastic typically just stays in one piece, not too much breakage. So it's usually smooth getting them off. Alright, that's the last piece of plastic. But the weather has cleared up outside, so I'm going to put this project on hold and get back to the project I had started already, which is more time sensitive anyway. Alright, I'll pick this back up another time. Well, it's raining again. There was a 50-50 chance that this was going to be a problem, and today is one of the 50% that is now on my side. So I did one more load of my outside. Now I'm back to the inside. So I think I'm going to put this together since I have time. So let's get back to it. I also just finished having lunch. One of my kids is homesick. So it hasn't exactly been the most productive, like, work type days. But you know what? I probably had a whole bunch of those and I just squandered them away doing nothing. I like to procrastinate, whether purposely or not. And this is one of those. Well, this particular project didn't need to be done right now, but since I have the time, I really need to be outside. And I really didn't need to do what I did earlier this morning, because that could have been done like tomorrow instead, knowing that the weather was not going to be on my side. But usually, the weather, well no, that's not usually. The weather never cooperates with me, because typically it would not be raining. They would just say it, and then nothing would happen, and I would be annoyed because I would have wanted it to. But since I watered the garden yesterday and don't need the rain today, of course it's raining. Alright, let's do this. Ugh. So I've done a few of these in the years. Is it the front? One thing I always try to keep in mind, this is the end pieces. So you want, if it's a case where you have 3 panels, you want the middle one to be on the inside. It's just a more stable situation because the dirt is going to be pushing out, and now you have these outer walls for support. So these are the supporting rods for the middle, which is why I'm thinking I'm not gonna assemble the whole thing in the house and then try to get it outside the house, because it's gonna be wobbly as all heck, and I don't want to damage it in the process. So I'm just gonna do, like, I'm gonna do all the side walls in a straight line, and I don't even know I'm gonna do that because it's 8 feet. Maybe I'll just do 2 panels, 2 and 2, so 4 feet, because I can transfer that without too much wobble. No, I can do the 8 feet. Yeah, so I'll do the 8, well, 7, I guess, 7 feet to make up these panels. But I'm not gonna attach it to the end pieces until I get to the garden, so that I won't have that much of a problem with that. The only thing I need to do is make sure I leave space, I think. How's this go? Because you gotta leave some of the holes not covered, because you need to put the rods in through those holes. And it doesn't specifically tell you. You can guess by the picture, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. So I'll do a little bit more here and then get back. All right, I figured out the rods situation. So you wouldn't use what's it called, butterfly pieces on this part. You would just use the screw and then this rod attachment, and then the whole rod itself. So I'll do one side with the rods, and then the other side just, I think this fits through the door. Yeah. The other side with that. Just doing the last bit of tightening on this bed, and then I can fill it up, or partly up. It doesn't have to be fully filled. Now, I do need 2 hands for this, and I don't have my tripod, so this is all I'm showing you. I'm just a little confused by the rods in the middle, but they're on there and they'll hold, so that's okay. But it's just that, you know, if you wind it one way, it unloosens the other way, so you have to find like the sweet spot of the middle. But some of them are tougher than others, because some are like, maybe I over tightened it to begin with, so now I'm having a hard time adjusting. But otherwise, it's going to its spot. No, it isn't. Gotta clean up that spot first.